Hi, welcome to Edupedia World. You're in the first chapter of the course HTML1. So what is HTML anyway? HTML is the Hypertext Markup Language, that's what it stands for, and is the language of the web, the internet, the web. It uses the HTML language. It allows you to create web pages with control and flexibility based on your design. Alright, in this course you will have David. This guy here is David, and he is an intern at Green Event Managers, a startup event handling business. David is hired as a web developer. His task is to build the company website. Okay, so let's help David accomplish tasks given by his boss Stephanie. So this is a startup, as I said, and there's a lot of pressure on David. So he's going to tell us the tasks given by Stephanie, and we're going to accomplish those tasks by the end of each chapter. Okay, so right now we are trying to understand what is HTML. HTML is everywhere. Hypertext Markup Language. It is the markup language for describing web documents or web pages. It is a markup language which has a set of markup tags. Okay, we're going to learn more about tags in this chapter. Then we have HTML documents are described by HTML tags. Each HTML tag describes different document content. Okay, more about this coming next. Why is HTML everywhere? Well, it is a high-level language which makes it easier for humans to understand. If you look at the machine code, the machine language, the language of your computer, you would see that it has a lot of series of zeros and ones which are unintelligible by the human brain. We are not able to comprehend that. What we need is a high-level language, a language that is close to our language. And English is the universal language. So HTML, if you read the code, it is fairly easy to understand what's going on in the code. Okay, the few tricks of this trade that you will learn in this course, but let me assure you that the learning curve of this language is not very high. You would be able to catch up as you follow the exercises. Okay, it is a common language and it is simple, but it is very powerful. Do not underestimate its power. It is based on object-oriented programming languages, which is made up of classes and objects. I'm going to cover that in detail in the upcoming chapters. And it is platform independent, which means if you have a mobile, you have a tablet, you have a Mac computer, you have a Windows operating system, Linux, Unix, anything you have, your browser, your system can easily read and display the code in your browser. Okay, so it doesn't care what kind of operating system or what kind of machine you're using. Okay, you're able to read your code. Why do you need to know HTML? Okay, HTML knowledge. Okay, whenever we are studying, we need to understand how we can apply the knowledge in our own life. Well, I can assure you there are lots of practical ways you can apply HTML. HTML knowledge will help you design compelling web pages. You can also customize a template according to your needs, which means that if you're given a template and you want to make a few changes here and there so that it looks like yours, you can do it only if you have the knowledge of an HTML language. You just have to look into the source code and make changes. So you should be able to know what the other code is so that you make the change in the right place. In this course, you would be able to understand or comprehend the meaning of each code line. The multiple careers and web page designing, you have content development, you have customer resource management. There are many practical examples, practical areas where HTML is applied. You can get a job maintaining web pages. You can get a job being a content manager. For example, if you write well and you have to post comments, you have to post your blogs on the website, you can get a job doing that. And there are many other practical jobs available for HTML. Even if you do not work directly with the style sheets and websites. Style sheets, by the way, they define the color, background, font, graphics, animations, all of these, really nice cosmetic things on the website. So those are the style sheet. We'll cover that later. You need to have a basic understanding of the language in order to manipulate parameters and elements associated with the website. It is easier than ever to learn HTML. And did you know HTML5 is used for mobile applications development? So HTML5 is increasingly becoming very popular, contrary to the Flash program. You must have heard of Flash. Flash is not very popular anymore because of the popularity of the mobile machines that we use. We like to use our smartphones and iPads and tablets, and Flash does not show very well on these devices. But HTML5, it displays everywhere. It is truly platform independent. So before we begin, what is an HTML editor? Okay, you're not going to be using any program. You're not going to be downloading anything for this course. You're not going to be using any pre-made code generators. No way. You're going to learn coding from scratch. You're going to learn each and every start, middle, end of HTML code yourself. You're going to write everything yourself, and for that you just need an HTML editor. So what is an HTML editor? I'll tell you. So, okay, apart from the need for an HTML editor, you need to get organized with the folders. You need to make sure that you have an organized mindset. You cannot learn the language unless and until you do not have folders organized. Okay, I will show you how to do that. Then you need to know the file types, HTML or HTML file type, and your browser. Okay, the HTML is the file type for HTML pages, and you will be able to, when you double click on these files, the HTML program will be run on your browser. Types of editors, which one is the best for beginners? Notepad. This is the HTML editor. We're going to use Notepad. And offline file runs. We're also going to talk more about that. Okay, before we go into that, just know that there is this scenario going on behind each chapter. Okay, this is the Green Event Managers. This is a company, and this is Stephanie. She's the boss. This is a startup, and David is their intern, and his job is to develop this website. Okay, now your job as a learner is to help David accomplish tasks given by Stephanie. Okay, so we're going to make this really practical so that you have an idea in what business setting HTML can be applied. Okay, now I'm going to get into the first chapter. We just talked about the HTML. We introduced into HTML. Now it's time to talk about tags, attributes, and elements, and then finally by the end of this chapter you should have your first page. Okay, I'm really excited. All about tags and their uses, HTML elements, HTML attributes. We're just going to talk about introduction, and then we're going to see what your first page looks like. Okay, so all you need to do is scroll down right here in the start area, the start button, click on it. You would see a menu. Okay, as soon as you see a menu, click on Notepad. Okay, you simply need a notepad, and you have to save this notepad as .html and you have to save it as .txt. So you need to save this notepad twice. File, save, s.html and .txt. Okay, so up next you're going to open up a notepad and start coding away.